God! I've literally gone over this in my head. Don't mess it up. Merry Christmas, Samoa, and welcome back to Doctor Who. Season, yes. Episode Christmas. The Christmas Invasion, where once again I am joined by my brother Caden.
Hello.
Where yes, it's been a while. Of course, we haven't done one of these for a while. We did season 1/14/40. With Shooty Gadwa. One day we'll figure it out. One day. I thought it was gonna be 14, but then they made a lot of references in that season, so now I don't know what we'll call it. I think the fan base is settling on 14. It's making my job hard. But yeah, no, we had to, of course, wait until the Christmas season so we could do the Christmas Invasion, because, of course, it's the Christmas special for 2005. The first proper Christmas special of Doctor Who since 1916. The Ninth Doctor had a little bit of one. He had, the Charles Dickens one? The Ghosts or something. It is. No, it actually is like the secret backdoor Christmas special. It didn't come out at Christmas, but it's what they would have done. But yeah, before we get on, because I have some rambling, I've got a Christmas present for everyone besides this. My lovely thumbnail, that's also a present. The fact that we're using the Ninth Doctor logo is not because I forgot I had to do it yesterday. It's because it's an artistic choice. It's symbolic of how hard it is to let go of the Doctor when they regenerate. But I'm not going to promise next week. Actually, no, we're not doing one next week because I'm busy. But the week after, we should be good. If you don't know what we're doing, because it's been a while, if you're joining us from season 9, from the Ninth Doctor, rather, welcome. If you're coming on to us from Shooty Gadwa, welcome again. This will be new. If you're one of those people who believes you've been told or you believe that you can just skip season 1 and go straight to season 2, you should be ashamed, and you're banned. And you should go watch our other watch-alongs of season 1. You disgusting animals. But what we're going to be doing is basically we're going to be making an audio commentary track live. So obviously I can't just stream an episode of Doctor Who for legal reasons, so it's bring your own video. We'll have some things, as you can see, as I'm forgetting all my keybinds. We'll help you. We have some things to help people get synced up. But after we ramble for a little bit so people can get synced up, and because I like it, we're going to do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and I'll go. We're all going to hit play, and then, we'll be synced. I didn't hit my monitor. This is a little bit of a problem for Doctor Who. Let's see if I remember the speech. Because there are 2 versions of every Doctor Who episode, every modern one, and one classic one for some reason. There's the original UK broadcast, which is what you get on UK Blu-rays. Probably just UK. I think it's just a UK standard. It's complicated. Trust me, you don't want to know. Which runs at 25 frames per second. I don't remember. It's a frame rate thing. That's not what we're watching. What we're watching is the original US broadcast and what is on the US Blu-rays and DVDs, because that's how I get the show. Which, for frame rate reasons, runs about 4% slower. Yes, not faster. God, it has been a while. In the description, one day, if you're real good, there might be a link to a version of this live stream set up for the UK. If you're watching it live, it's the US version. I still need to do season 1. Caden, I don't suppose you want to do it. Just pop some
I'll pass.
videos into Premiere. No? Do you have any idea how popular the stream is, the exposure it could get you? You don't know how many people watch it.
You're right. I'll take a risk.
You don't know how popular this stream is. Yeah. I hope that made sense. But basically, if you start watching, we don't know what the streaming platforms have, and one day they'll be on Disney anyway. So if you start watching and get out of sync, it's gonna be 5 minutes out of sync by the end of an hour. So that's why. Christmas present time. We've had some big news yesterday on the 13th, which is probably not a coincidental date. Jodie Whittaker, the 15th Doctor, is very quickly coming to Big Finish. They're doing like 12 Big Finish audio dramas. It's the 13th Doctor and Yaz. The same, I don't remember who plays Yaz, I'm sorry. But, maybe be a better character. It's not their fault, but that's why everyone's excited, right? Because obviously, the 13th Doctor's era, I have strong feelings. Most people do. But basically everybody in the fandom has always said, I really can't wait for Jodie to get to Big Finish, because then you can see the Doctor outside all of the problems with Chris Chibnall in the writing. I know don't usually, we try not to dump on Chris Chibnall, but, he's directly come up now. And so I'm going to, the 6th Doctor, very famously, basically overnight, went from a forgotten regeneration that was a mistake and you should best ignore, the only Doctor who had ever been fired from the role, to a beloved classic because Big Finish got some writers who actually knew what to do with a spiky kind of not so nice Doctor. And yeah, hopefully they can do the same for 13. And it's like, I don't even know if Jodie Whittaker's a good Doctor or not, because she literally never got a chance in 5 years to prove herself. So that will be good. They come out next year in July, and then they release every other month, until 2027, because I think that's about how far Big Finish has planned out. But this is like David Tennant levels of excitement to play the Doctor. Just for context, the 11th and 12th Doctors have still never done any audio dramas. The 9th Doctor started a year or two ago. And David Tennant's literally been doing Big Finish since before he was the Doctor. So, he's David Tennant. He loves this stuff. But yeah, that's big news.
Big news.
Big news. That's great news. And it's only $10 for a story if you pre-order it right now for just the download. But yeah, I actually discovered that during my last stream, and it was fun. I think it's probably time we get into it, though. Oh, you wanted, right, a bit of a recap because it's been a while.
Just a jogger, yeah.
Yep, Christopher Eccleston died.
Yep.
That's the recap. No, yeah, I mean, go watch season 1. It's a great season. What the exacts of how he regenerated doesn't really matter. But yeah, he regenerated. We saw the charity special where Rose is a bit like, yeah.
We
I don't
did.
think you're the Doctor.
Forget
about that one, because that's not really going to come up again.
Well.
She's like, she exits the TARDIS and goes, that's the Doctor. It's like, oh, okay, I guess we got over that one. To be fair, I said before, that special was filmed after after this episode was filmed, so they were kind of constrained. But the Christmas special, I usually review these a bit before we start, 15 minutes in. This is probably the second best opening for introducing a new Doctor, behind the 11th Hour, which is fantastic. David Tennant isn't in it much, right? There are reasons behind this. We can talk about it, but during the actual watch along. But I've said before, I've referenced this. He's got 5 minutes at the end that's basically, hello, this is my Doctor, and this is what you can expect from my Doctor, and here's basically a total summary of my character and my era, which is amazing. And I've said, I think Shooty Gadwa got that with the Church on Ruby Road. It's just I couldn't quite tell you what the character traits were yet. I need to see his era. So you'll finally get to know what I was talking about then.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Let's begin. Let's get our little everything ready. Plop us back there. I'm still at 100% speed. Yeah, good. I think I can do the spacebar for this one. Again. All right. That only took 5 hours. As I said before, we're going to be doing a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then on go, we're all going to be hitting play. And if you're getting out of sync and you're streaming, actually let us know, because I would really love to know what the different streaming platforms have, because I have no idea. Actually, I also don't know if there are scenes that like weren't on the US broadcast. I know for one of the stories there is. I think the End of the Time has a bunch of extra scenes. If there are extra scenes, those should be on here because the End of Time has the extra scenes, and this is the complete David Tennant collection. So it's from the same Blu-ray set. But I should have looked this up. Look, Doctor Who's a lot harder than Star Trek. Trust me, you will never stop digging down this frame rate rabbit hole if
it's
you
a
go
rabbit
into
hole,
it.
yeah.
Just trust me, it's 4%, that's all. But why is it 4%? Don't ask. Just don't ask. By the way, the sound is just slowed down 4%. That's how they fix it. It's the really lazy way of doing it. Okay, countdown time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And of course, like, I think every Russell T Davies story, I think the church did this as well. We start by like zooming in on Earth. I checked, the 11th hour also does this. There's like half the seasons at least are gonna open with this. Now, which one of these decorations do you think is going to try and kill someone in, like, 30 minutes? I am also having to recall, because we did Shooty Cat. Oh, here it is, the Doctor Who Christmas song! I bet you've never heard this song before in your life, but like every Christmas special has it. So here's a fun fact. You know how like there are only 5 Christmas songs that play on loop for the whole month of December?
Mm-hmm.
This is also true in the UK, but they're 5 different songs. I'm like, why don't we just exchange some information here? I heard that song. I don't know what it's called. Like, does he ride a red-nosed reindeer? I heard that at the mall once, like a year or two ago. Yeah, I was at the mall a year or two ago. And I was like, what is this? This isn't right.
Ah, yeah, weird in the coat.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves the Doctor and the previous Doctor's clothes. And of course, the lights, they match the interior color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There you go. There's our only tie-in to the charity special, is that he decided to go to Christmas. Roll credits. Do you want me to ruin his TARDIS for you, though?
Whoa.
You know the lights, the orange lights we just talked about?
Uh-huh.
They're very clearly lit by strips of LEDs on the top, bottom, and both sides on each of the windows, and it looks really bad. And now that I've told you, you'll never be able to unsee it.
Yeah.
I think we've done up the intro music, too, a bit. There's, like, drums or something for Season 2. I swear it's done
my
up, but I
listening
can't
ears.
remember why.
Can't tell.
I don't remember. I swear there is a difference at some point. Fun fact, this is lifted from the third Doctor's Regeneration, which is also the one that establishes the Doctor has 2 hearts. Also, this is the kind of role you love as an actor.
I remember there being a far bigger moment when they talked about it, but she just knows.
Well, I think 9 probably mentioned it. Like, you saw them in Dalek. I don't think Rose saw them, but he probably brought it up. Thank gosh dang, when did... Maybe you found a plot hole. Maybe Rose doesn't know, but they probably mentioned it. That's the one you asked as well. Like,
Yeah. Ever since Mickey's like room full of Doctor Who things, I've spent far more time just looking around the general home set.
I have also spent every scene looking at the background and examining everything. Even though I'm like, I don't even know what would be different. Like, why? Quid 18 quid a week. That's a lot. That's like doubling Washington's minimum wage. And that's Washington's minimum wage. I love old animatics like this. I also find it funny that, yeah, in like a few months, the UK built up a space program, like launched its own rockets and went to Mars. You get this a lot. One of the 80s stories literally just has, like a manned Mars mission. It's like, oh. Okay. It's funny because later on we'll get back-to-back Christmas specials. You do not forget about Christmas. Hang on. There we go. No, he did the dying Rose. I do kind of feel like you get Mickey, right? Because, you know, Rose treats Mickey awfully. But Mickey also treats Rose pretty badly. Like, her best friend literally might be dying and is, like, practically comatose. But it's like, damn it, Rose, it's Christmas. Just let it be Christmas. Relationship. Oh, it really is. I really want him to cock that trumpet like a shotgun. It's like, literally makes the noise. If it wasn't like a family show, you would have caught, like Torchwood would have just or you could do it, but it's like a trumpet toot. It's like, I will say I do miss this from Shooty Gadwa's Christmas special, where like it's really has nothing to do with Christmas, but the Christmas iconography is like everywhere and integrated in the story in silly ways. This is what I want.
It's like Die Hard.
There was literally nothing Christmas about Ruby Road other than it happened to be Christmas.
Christmas.
You know? Yeah. And no one bring up Die Hard.
Okay, I take it back. It's controversial, I know.
Well, Die Hard deals with like Christmassy themes at least, but Church of Ruby Road doesn't really, you know?
It snows.
It doesn't though. I had a debate with my wife about this. It snows when he goes back in time to the church, but it never snows like now. It's very clearly a snowless British. Because Russell T Davies had this thing where he likes to engineer snow in increasingly convoluted ways, but he didn't do that for the church. Oh, you haven't? Yeah, that's right. You haven't seen this scene yet. I thought it was season 2. I'm like, the Christmas tree was last year. This is what I want from Christmas specials, right? This scene here. I think this scene is why Christmas specials became such a big thing in, like, the UK. Here's a question, too. Do you think, even if it wasn't Christmas, all their weapons are still coincidentally Christmas-themed? Oh, but look, she's working on painting the living room. It's got paint swatches. We'll have to watch for that.
Oh, yeah.
Does she paint the living room?
That's such an unnecessary detail.
That's a great way to show that time is passing, though. Like, more for them than it is for Rose. There's the line, the 10 out of 10. Wait a minute, Doctor. You're not even in a coma. You're just pretending to be in a coma. He's so young.
Oh, yeah.
This ain't 60th, David Tennant. When was this? 19 years ago.
Man.
Yeah. Think about it. This one came out a little after you were born. Now look at David Tennant.
Oh, no. Would the sonic screwdriver have been effective at that distance?
I don't know if the range has ever come up.
I always feel like it has to be close.
Like, it has a range. He can't just, like, point to the moon, you know, and affect something, but... I mean, it's the range of sound, you'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally never come up.
Neural implosion. That sounds terrifying.
I mean, his brain did just explode.
Yeah.
I think Jackie really comes, like, into her own as a character in this season. She's doing a lot better. He's so good. David Tennant does such a good job as the Doctor. There's a parody. There's a show called, like, The Extras that's a comedy, you know, about extras in show. And there's one where, like, one of the characters, I've seen the clip, is, like, cast as a monster in Doctor Who. So there's a parody scene of Doctor Who where they get David Tennant to play the Doctor, and, like, a parody scene, and they have him shout, like, nonsense, because it's the whole joke about how all of, like, neural implosion stuff is nonsense, about how, like, there's a slug attacking him, and, like, he has to go get some, so he's like, some salt or they'll turn into slugs or something. And David Tennant delivers this literally intentionally absurd dialogue, and you buy every word just because he does it so doctory.
Love it.
And like he owns it. I'll have to send it to you after this. That's not easy either. I think we've got like a 33% success rate for landing on Mars. Mm-hmm. Mostly because the Soviets were really bad at it, but it's also just hard. Man, what a nice 2005 animatic. Probably took like 2 minutes to download. I want to say this is why you don't transmit live, but like, maybe you shouldn't. I get that they didn't plan for this. Yay, American news lady! I've mentioned this before. The news stations are always really poorly done. They have like, really bad, like you're filming a TV screen because of BBC or UK law. Because they don't want people to flip 2 channels, find a fake newscast about like the world ending, and then think the world is ending. So that's why they always look like that. I like it. And the reason they sometimes don't is because it's a loosely informed law. And when you're the BBC, you are the British government, and they do get a little,
of course,
a little bit of leeway. I love the person looking at Jupiter.
Now they gotta check them all out.
Mars, yeah. Is that a unit soldier or a general soldier? I'd have to look. No, that's a general. No, that is unit. Oh yeah, there's unit logos everywhere. I do love the follow-up to that joke. On, in the first episode she was in with the Slovene, she kept introducing herself and no one knew who she was. That was my first classic Who reference of New Who that I was like, I get it. Because we have met Martians before. They look completely different. And that's what you get when you've seen classic Who. It adds to the show, but it's never like, you'd need to get it. You wouldn't even know that was a reference.
Yeah.
As you do. Remember, he's got that, like, Buffalo password that the doctor showed him before. But yeah, that's Mickey's job. It's a good language. I was just waiting for the order. I thought you could understand it. I didn't want to be weird. She's probably just sulking. Very poetic, but I think the TARDIS is just sulking. It also doesn't like David Tennant. It's like, I really like my other
This
dog.
guy's weird.
This guy's weird. Looks like a weasel. Oh, something else that's fun. We'll have to look out for. Remember, Sutek is part of the TARDIS in all of these episodes. We'll have to watch out for that. Because that'll come up a lot. That's going to have a lot of weird implications, but we have to remember.
Always in the atoms.
He's always there. So, regeneration sickness is an amazing concept that lets the Doctor be a bit weird in his first episode while they're still working on the character. And that's what he's suffering from. I don't think Tennant needs it, though. He's the Doctor from day one. Like... There's our Torchwood reference of the episode. They're the new bad wolf, so keep an eye out. Fun thing about Torchwood, the name comes from the code name for Doctor Who, which is an anagram of Doctor Who. Torchwood.
Huh.
Rock. I love that joke. I don't know why it's funny, but... Merry Christmas. We once watched one of these as the Christmas movies at Mom's. Not on Christmas, but they were watching a bunch. I was like, let's watch some of the specials. And then I was like, let's not watch the Doctor Who specials again. Like, they're not very Christmassy. I love watching him on Christmas, but it is rather weird, you know?
It's clearly Christmassy. You can see the Christmas tree-shaped hole in the wall.
Well... You know, the vibes. Let's Doctor Who, though. I took your comment totally seriously. And then I was like, hang on a minute. Like, what do you think the repair people think at Jackie's?
Yeah.
What happened? Christmas tree? I believe it's called flipping the bird. What were they gonna do? That's modern unit for you. You know. I mean, yeah. Again, Merry Christmas. For Christmas Day, like you get the superficial Christmas stuff, but you also get some very like not cheerful plots.
Mm-hmm.
Like every Christmas special of Davies. You know, like the Shooty Gadwa is like, we're gonna eat the baby, but we're gonna do it as a Disney musical, right?
It's gonna be fun.
It was fun, yeah. This one is hey, everyone's just kind of walking out, and they're just gonna go. Well, you'll see what they're gonna go do.
It's a crazy rebuttal. This is a day of peace. We extend the peace to you. And this is the response.
Maybe this is like some sort of peaceful ritual, you know? It's their Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas. You see that building in the background, the Gherkin, I think it's called, the big glass one?
Yeah.
When I went to Barcelona, I didn't know they also have a replica of that building. And so we drove from like France for a few hours, and I saw that, and I was like, wait a minute. We are in Barcelona, right? It's like seeing the driving to like Idaho and seeing the Eiffel Tower. It's like, wait a minute, that's not. Yeah. Merry Christmas. It is one hell of a rebuttal. Hey, look, there it is, the Eiffel Tower, Idaho. So I've always wondered this too. How do you think? Do you think you could fit a third of the population on like the high rooftops of the world? I don't know.
That is a good
We all
question.
fit in a very small volume.
Yeah.
What if you're in like Kansas? You're just walking this whole episode? Everyone going to New York?
Huh.
We'll throw British HIPAA out the window, but you know, I think
Not husbands and wives. Have they implied that one oblivious guy is having an affair?
What, like Lindy or whatever was his daughter, or Sally? There it is.
Oh, is that his daughter?
No.
Oh.
I don't know what you're trying to get at.
Well, no, he was so worried about just her and no one else.
I see.
I don't know. Picking up what's being put down.
Probably. I've never fact checked. Love those things. So what you're saying is you didn't use your own blood. Merry Christmas. Would you really put King Henry there? British people, there's King Henry, why? Is he actually there on those speeches? Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. UK Prime Minister buckles under pressure, publicly calls for doctor during Queen's address. Meanwhile, every former companion is also like, God dang it, where is he? Merry Christmas. This is the one we watched as well. It was like, oh.
Oh, it's so messed up.
But I don't know if you notice what they're doing is they're putting the Doctor out of action. Because, it's the first generation of the modern era. A lot of people could be very uneasy, accepting the new face. Mm-hmm. So they're showing just how dire it is without the Doctor.
Yeah.
And it also lets them, when, spoilers, he does save the day. Like, it makes us want him back, when we see that he still is effective and he still can get the job done. And of course, we put the focus on the companion, who is the constant between season 1 and season 2. So it's very, very well thought out. The whole reboot of Doctor Who from like episode 1 to here was expertly done.
Yeah.
You may notice I excluded everything after here, but it was popular. I mean, Rose and David Tennant are super popular, but season 2 is generally considered the weakest of the Russell T Davies seasons. At least the first ones. I don't know how people would rank Ncuti Gatwa's.
Yeah.
I'd be interested, though. I bet Ncuti Gatwa's is either, like, below or above this one for most people.
Yeah.
But the Martha Jones, the next season, she doesn't get a lot either. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. If you want our thoughts on that. Oh my gosh, I just realized they're rebuilding Big Ben from season 1.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's those little continuity details. I love how Russell T Davies, for his first like several seasons, like the world is affected by what happens in it, and humanity just, because stuff like this happens, they just learn, aliens are around, and they come and invade every now and then. And I just love that continuity until Moffat takes over. And he decides, people forget. Again, you just love this role. He's got his dream role, and he gets to sleep all day. David Tennant's probably the one actor who, like, didn't like having the sleeping role, because he's so excited to be the Doctor, but then, like, he's not allowed to be the Doctor, he's just gotta sleep there.
Finally his time.
Finally his time. Actually, it's called a transmat. Is it a transgendered bullfighter? Nope, it's not clicking. It'd take a few seconds. Matador, like transgendered, matador, transmat. Thank you. They're exactly like us. Oh my god. Butt squirrel?
A lot of bags.
It's got a food replicator, Jackie. Wait, Rose thinks they need food. Maybe she just never learned how to use it, or she doesn't know it exists. I do like this guy's character. It's pretty small, but it's well acted. He's got a good story.
They're 2 for 2 on wild responses.
Yeah, do you think that they're very extreme? How do you think they have diplomacy with other species? Merry Christmas! Maybe that's why we don't have the Brigadier for this episode, is like, they had to murder that guy. I love just that as a decision. You know?
It's brutal.
Trying to actually weigh that enormity. And then, like, well, if the one half does die, are they just gonna, like, go? They're gonna be, like, drat by... or, I could see him doing it. It's, like, so severe. It's just like, oh, well, bye. We are British. It probably solves, like, at least 5 specials, I'm sure. I love the creaks of the dead TARDIS, like, as she settles. You know, I have realized, though, they've just detected the TARDIS, but they haven't detected Torchwood's massive stash of alien weaponry that they're, you know, they're working on right now. Maybe Torchwood just has baby weaponry, you know?
Yeah, they're still getting there. Children in need of compassion.
Sutek's probably disappointed, though. Like, he was enjoying the show, but now he's taken away. It's like 1/3. Ooh. I like her look. It wasn't until she was grabbed. It wasn't like, this isn't where I live. Huh. It's kind of like my flats, but not exactly.
They started remodeling very quickly.
Last time this happened, Sutek woke up. Maybe this is where it starts. Sutek's been sleeping, but now that he's getting his tea. This is where it all started.
That was his food that'll now sustain him.
God, I've been so thirsty. He has to wait for it to rain, like where the TARDIS is. First day on the job, TARDIS starts sparking. Oh, God. Well, technically the first day he sort of crashed it, but they all do that. That's racist. He just does this when they kill him. But so actually, the last time he died, it did stop him. He stopped right now. Stop there and it might work. I love how she has to think about it. See, you know, now it's all credibility gone. Well done. I love that trail off. It's a really good mask and makeup job.
Yeah, I really like the look of these guys.
Yeah. Who's using borrowed words now? I love how that's done.
Mm.
Just like you. I'm not gonna bring that fact up, though. Paul McGann steps out. I'm a doctor, but probably not the one you were expecting. That was a joke for the audience, not for you.
I'm liking the costume of rolling up to save the world in pajamas.
Oh, yeah, you know. He's not even properly dressed. But look, great joke. 20 minutes left, though, and we finally get David Tennant. Look, a normal episode would be done by now. There's 1 of 5. There's it. At least 5. Ginger. One day. Rupert Grint, he's asking for it. Come on. Oh my god, he does this in the 60th too, and I didn't clock it was a reference. Where he goes, ooh, am I that kind of man now? Like, all the time. See, they do explain it, you know?
Vaguely.
He's just as much.
Mm.
It is a shame that she never says that in the Slovene episode, though. I don't know. Look at him. He's living the dream. It's like, I get to be Tom Baker. I wish we got to see Mickey's reaction of like, oh no. He's sexy. He's probably not my favorite incarnation, but God, he plays it perfectly. I don't know if anyone plays the Doctor better than David Tennant.
Yeah.
Naturally. It's because they're so threatening, and then yes, this is the Doctor because he finds this so quaint, you know. He just doesn't care. Oh, that's true. He's this might be his best scene, honestly, as the Doctor. You know what it is? It's that David Tennant is just so happy to be here, and he's unable to suppress it, but it's adding to the performance so much. I need to watch The Lion King more, just to catch the line. I actually don't know what part of The Lion King that is. Like,
me neither.
Oh, see, we're both admitting. We need my wife down here. But they're watching Shrek, so you know. See, just owning whatever nonsense they make him say. He's also probably the best at doing that. Like, Matt Smith will say a lot of crazy stuff, but they'll actually be words. He'll just be saying weird things. David Tennant will say, like, crazy alien stuff and own it. God, how many of the Doctors are fencers? 3 did it. I think 4 did it once. A fair few of them have been in sword fights.
I like Doctor in sword fights.
Oh, you'll love 3. Come on, we need to get you over here. Invasion of the Dinosaurs, and like, I could show you some other ones where he does sword fights. It's funny, because the third Doctor's actor loved them, but he'd often be in sword fights with the Master, who was very afraid of them. And so it kind of shows in the fights, but it's absolutely hilarious. It's one of those cases of, like, the horrible villain guy who's also just the nicest person and, like, would never do anything the character does. Let's do slow-mo, but not by the camera for it. Oh, well. Bye. Wave to the hand. We'll see you later. That hand has a storied career, you know? It's in Torchwood, it's everything. I feel like his fingers are kind of small, like especially his thumb when he does that. And I don't know if it's intentional or just the angle. Like, there, that thumb is longer, surely. He's so good. Like, the dialogue, that performance, everything. Every single one. Even, like, the whole apple in the dressing gown. He's just perfect in this episode. I think it's been so long since I've seen, like, great televised Doctors. We just had Shooty, but before then I spent so long with 13.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes. like 15's good, but I feel like 15 doesn't have as much like sort of character and personality as 10 already does.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
And 15's got a personality. Like,
yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure this is a British tradition we don't have. Because that's not the only time this has come up.
Oh.
Oh, he is. I think this is where a lot of people's idea of the Doctor is like so core into that. Because David Tennant, every time, one chance. And after that, all rules out the window. See, he's got gravitas. I also believe this might be the episode where like the Doctor is the defender of Earth kind of starts this concept. We might have had a reference with 9, but maybe I'm gonna bring this up for like the next 5 times he says it.
Quite an ugly ship.
Wow, it's just a mountain, you know, they really liked it. Was it an asteroid, or like did they pick up the mountain? It is weird. Is the rock airtight? I guess to a point, but because you can run out of air like in a cave. It is kind of funny, though. I've put so much effort into making sure this is still the Doctor to the audience when he becomes the Doctor, like, for so many people. Here comes Torchwood, just a little bit too late. Torchwood, you're fired. Do you remember Torchwood at all? Probably not.
Not really.
Yeah, it's obviously there's the spin-off series about Torchwood that this series is setting up. But I'll leave a lot of that for you, you know. Not Will. What do you do? Is that one of the sick rats?
Giant missile comes over the horizon, turns around, lands on one guy's house.
It's more like the Death Star, you know. Try keeping that one under wraps, though, you know. NASA calls up the UK. So, did you build a Death Star? It's like, no. Uh-oh, someone's in trouble. Merry Christmas. Like how Rose and Mickey are judging. Jackie seems a little less sure.
Yeah.
If she's even on camera, maybe. No, she's doing it there. You know, earlier I made the joke about, like, Prime Minister breaks under pressure, you know, publicly calls for doctor. I don't think it's fully those 6 words. I think it's also she publicly went on television and, like, randomly started calling for a doctor. You know what? If Joe Biden went on television and started calling for the doctor, I would also probably, you know, I'd raise some serious. Cause he's maybe not the best example because, you know, he's already got his comments like that. But I still wouldn't vote Trump. But, you know, I'd be. Yeah. This song, specifically written for Doctor Who, I believe it's called A Song for 10. So I'm just going to let them say the words.
Is this the TARDIS
wardrobe?
closet?
Yeah.
No.
No, that's the TARDIS wardrobe. You'll see
it. It is?
Yeah, you'll see it later. They'll zoom out.
Goody. I want to see it.
They'll zoom out. It's like, I think the only other room of this TARDIS we see. So yeah, it's a song about 10 in rows. There it is. Look at the one in the drawing. There it is. Oh my gosh, he's staying for Christmas. I don't think he's literally ever done that. There he is. So young. Is that a Tom Baker scarf? Almost. Yep, there you go.
That's good.
I kind of want that
I want more
colored one
TARDIS
with
rooms.
The hat. Well, there's an episode called Journey to the Center of the TARDIS with the 11th Doctor. I think you'll have to wait till then, unfortunately. They really don't like showing the rooms in the modern era. Like,
Dumb.
12's TARDIS becomes a home. But they do it in the classics, like in the 80s a lot. Like, maybe politics in the UK really were just that different in 2005. But I have to imagine it also is the Queen's address. Because, like, if you're 18 pounds better off, I don't care how senile you are. 18 pounds better off, like, yeah, you're going to be voted in every time. So all those people dancing in the background, everyone's going to have some lung problems. Remember what I said about really contriving snow in the whole Christmas specials? Yeah. Man, I kind of want to just keep going. That was not... I want to... What if we just do the whole season? You ready for that, you know? I'll make Alex do a new thumbnail in a week's turnaround. Look, Mickey, go get fired. No, you weren't fired. Just go ruin your reputation and then die. I don't know.
Get on with it.
I know how Mickey ends up, but, like, I don't really want to mention it. He said the ninth. See, that's why we got the Ninth Doctor logo. See, he's not quite gone yet. He does have a little baby thumb, actually. What's up with his David Tennant's, like, thumb? Sometimes it looks normal, but it's, like, smaller than all his other... But, like, I know, but proportionally it's smaller. If I recall correctly, they're going to Earth next episode. But not this Earth, the new Earth. Well, technically, it's like the 15th Earth since the original, so it's... Oh, wait, no, that's not the joke. Never mind. Boom, ba-doom. Are they going to Earth? Earth? Oh, no, this is the whole season we're seeing previews of. Never mind. Hang on, let me just check, because I'm pretty sure it's New Earth. Yes, next time, not next week, we've got New Earth. I don't know if you remember New Earth, but yeah. I mean, what'd you think? The first David Tennant episode ever. There'll be a lot of those.
Really, I don't know, good introduction to the Doctor. Great episode. I don't know.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's really...
Less than chipper.
It's got the icon... Yeah, you know, that's like a... I'm kind of glad that we don't have the... I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great stories, but could you imagine, especially the first one, sitting down, like watching Doctor Who at Christmas, the family show. I mean, you know, it was all about kind of the timeline, war trauma. It wasn't like a super lighthearted show, but you know, it's the Christmas special, and then it's like a third of the world is standing on the edge of like, super high buildings, and it's like a third sold into savory, or 1/2 murder, or the other way around. It's like, oh yeah, but it's not always that hardcore, and I like when sci-fi gets that, you know, hardcore.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you also do need some episodes that are like a school reunion, you know, looking that way. Or Love and Monsters is this season. You know, you can't have all sad all the time. We're not
Balance
late Deep Space Nine. No, even then. Okay, late Deep Space Nine is the Star Trek that's like about war and stuff. It's super dark. It's the point where you go... And before, it's sometimes like, why am I watching this? This is super dark and depressing. But then they give like some fantastic, super deep line. It's like, oh yeah, 'cause it's amazingly written. But even they take a break from the war to go play some baseball in the holodeck. Like, you know, you need a little bit of that longevity. So it's just kind of weird to not have that lightheartedness at Christmas. You know, the Goblin song. I think the Goblin. Church on Ruby Road is also a good opener. You know, it's not this. The 11th Hour is a fantastic opener, and it's not like a comedy, but it's not dark. Sure, someone's threatening to burn the whole planet, but, you know, TV's weird about what's dark, what's not, what's appropriate, what's not. The one that actually has the devil is more lighthearted than the Christmas Invasion. Teasing up, so Caden, I'll do a bit of a teaser, right? We got the New Earth. We got the werewolf one, where, you know, David Tennant, if you want to know how good David Tennant actor is, the Doctor does a Scottish accent in this one, because they're in Scotland. And, of course, David Tennant is Scottish. But, so a lot of people go, it must be kind of weird or fun for David Tennant to do his natural accent. He's not. David Tennant, a Scottish person... who is playing the Doctor with essentially a perfect, like, Scottish accent, is playing a posh British man doing a near-perfect Scottish accent, which, by God, must have been hell to keep straight in his head. Like, it's so close to... But he'd do a few things slightly wrong to his natural accent... like, but also simultaneously putting all the emotion and character and depth into his voice. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. School reunion. This is where they go, hey, Doctor Who's cool. What if we bring back some stuff from the classics? You get to meet Sarah Jane. You get to meet K9. You know, good episode. Girl in the Fireplace. Here's that Moffat one I tell you about that is the one... Well, actually, here's the better one. It's the one that I said I described Rogue is homosexual girl in the fireplace, or the other way around. I don't know which way I did it, but that'll be an interesting compare and contrast. Because of course, I gave Rogue like a 4. That might have even been higher than I gave it. I really didn't like Rogue, and here's why I don't like this, but here's why I like it better. You know, there's one. Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel. Bet you could guess what that one's about.
Yeah.
Idiot's Lantern. As I said, season 2's kind of weak. But there's a fun little reference introduced in this one. You got a sort of campy villain, you know? Hungry girl who just... Yep. I just lost that one. This one's got the devil in it.
Of course.
Everyone loves this one. The same guy who voiced Sutek, you know? So
yeah.
you get 2 Suteks in this episode. This one, like, everyone loves, and I can never get past its fundamental misunderstanding of black holes, and it ruins the whole episode for me. It's like such a little thing, but it's like, you know, if you want me to get angry, join in for the Impossible Planet for the first, like, 15 minutes. I'm just gonna be screaming about orbital mechanics. Look, it's not like 80s Who. It's 2005. They should have known better. Like, honestly. And but it's funny, because you see, like, a black hole from before Interstellar, was it? Well, I don't know if you know. You know how the black hole looks like now, with the ring that kind of bends over the top? That was made for the movie Interstellar, where they literally asked, like, some scientists, we want this to be as accurate as possible, so what does a black hole look like? And they went, you know... We've never really kind of, like, asked this before, and so they actually, like, properly put resources and computational power into modeling a black hole, and they came up with that. And so but before, they look weird now, because we're so used to what, like, these really accurate black holes. Love and Monsters. That's one to join us for. Oh, Caden. If you want to talk about controversial episodes... This episode, you will love it, or it's the worst episode of Doctor Who.
Oh, I can't wait.
You will love... Oh, I'm gonna say it, right? No, I won't. You gotta stay tuned, right?
Yeah, I gotta see.
You want to know what I think about Love and Monsters? You gotta wait.
Tune in.
I'm excited for that. Fear Her. A lot like Love and Monsters. Except, I don't know if anyone really, like, super enjoys Fear Her. I don't hate it as much as most people, but it's got a child actor. You know, that people don't like child actors. Here we go. Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. I'm not going to say too much about that, because that's the finale one. Oh, but Doomsday. Caden, you thought tying Sutek to a magic rope was a little contrived? Wait till you see. Wait till you see the sort of... necklace. How do I say this without the spoiler? Wait till you see, you know what? Just wait. Wait till you see what they do.
Oh gosh.
I'm sure the people at home. I would like to point out, Doomsday is way better than the Empire of Death. But there's a few moments in the resolution where you're like, okay, but why isn't this working? Okay, but really? And it's like, okay, did someone get saved in a manner that is incredibly it's like I must go, my planet needs me. It's like you just know you gotta go. It's a good one. Well, it's a famous one, you know. You might cry for it. We'll see. Yeah, season 2, as I said, it's generally considered the weaker one, but I think we'll have fun with it.
Yeah, it is so exciting to see David Tennant back in action.
It is. Honestly, season 3 I think is going to be a lot more fun. Just looking at the episodes, there's a lot of good ones. Oh, well, there's the Lazarus Experiment, but then there's a lot of good ones. Family of Blood, Blink. Just looking at the Master. I really want Masters. God, I'm loving the Big Finish War Master series. I've listened to a few of the other standalone Masters. We watched... I watched some Third Doctor on my own, but also you and I watched... What did we watch? It had bad
Terror
effects.
of the Autons.
Yeah, it was the first. It was the second Auton one. Yeah, because for like special effects, and it was a good Third Doctor story. And so of course there's a lot of the Master and the Third Doctor. I just want more Masters. Like I keep talking about them, but I want to get into the Masters again. And this will be interesting too. You can hear my opinions on the Masters, the various incarnations, and then season 4. I mean, we'll see what you think. I don't like Donna as much as most fan base, but I mean, that's because the fan base generally places Donna at number 1. So, like, literally, if Donna isn't your number 1, you don't like Donna as much as the fan base. But this season 4 is, like, it's number 1 for so many people. And it's got some good episodes. I mean, I'm looking at Pompeii. The library ones, you'll get to meet River, you know, Unicorn and the Wasp. Here's another weirdly controversial story. You'll either dislike Unicorn and the Wasp and not understand why anyone likes it, or you'll love it and genuinely not be able to comprehend how someone can like Doctor Who but not like Unicorn and the Wasp, one of the most quintessential Monster of the Week campy Doctor Who romps. I don't know why people don't like it. Why? It's just, it's basic, but also fun. It's like, we'll get there. And then the David Tennant specials, which I'm going to make my wife do a thumbnail for, and then they'll complain that they have to do a quick turnaround. Yeah, that's Tennant a lot more than, I want to keep watching it. I don't want to stop because I had a lot of fun with that one. And Doctor Who's like my thing now. Maybe I can convince Alex to go watch some classic Who. Or I might have to buy the new second Doctor drama. I can't buy Jodie's new stuff. Look at this. You're this far through.
Oh, I can't see it.
What? You were able to watch the episode, right? Like you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't remember stopping the stream.
You know when the episode was done.
That would have been hilarious if you were never watching the episode. Yeah, look, you got this much left. You're making your way through. I keep making fun of Alex because I got Classic Who in like a row of Blu-rays on my shelf, but I don't have all the seasons because they haven't done all of them on Blu-ray. Yeah. I've got all of like the second Doctor, some first Doctor stuff. I think I have all the first Doctor, but like the Aztecs or something. But they're going through it a little slower than I'd get the Blu-rays. So every time one comes, I'm like, look, Alex, you're this much farther away from the end of the row. Which, hang on, I don't know if you want to watch this on stream, but I wanted to show you that extras scene.
Oh, right.
The extras. Yeah. I could maybe... I'll go ahead and put that. Oh, wait, this is actually the thing. I'll go ahead and put this link in the stream to this video. I've seen it. It's just a fun clip where he's talking like... It's intentionally parodying Doctor Who's logic. Oh, I can't use my keyboard shortcuts. Oh, I guess the timer's not going to work. Where's the episode? Okay, good. That's still blurred. Why is it... Whatever. We can do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 vote, but it's just a fun. So it's intentionally comical parodying, but because it's David Tennant, it doesn't feel like it. We'll do countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This is a minor thing, but yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Didn't even properly do the timers. It's just a funny alien, too. He's just standing there. He just owns it, the whole scene. But it's just ridiculous nonsense is like this guy in a stupid costume stands there and the camera shakes.
I love that.
That's how good of a Doctor David Tennant is.
Yeah,
even if he's not your favorite regeneration, yeah. I don't think there's anyone who will try and tell you that like he's plays the Doctor anything but great. Like, they might not like the direction. Okay, here's something for you, actually, to keep track of. A lot of people complain, and amongst the fandom, David Tennant, I think, is often kind of low, because they say lower than you'd expect, at least. They say he's too human, and he's often kind of shortcutted to the human Doctor, because... The problem is, I find this take inherently racist, basically, and like it attributes everything good, like compassion, and just being considerate and stuff like that, to something intrinsic humanity that aliens wouldn't have. Which, given we've never met any aliens or cultures, is racist. I mean, towards currently hypothetical races, but he is more outwardly slightly more emotional. Like, there is an element that he's not as what you would usually call alien as the other regenerations. But I struggle with I need someone else to define it. I might find an example of someone who actually believes this describing it to you, because again, they describe other doctors as alien in ways that I also think is racist. Because on the one hand, it's like their outfits. He's often described as dressing like what an alien thinks a human would wear. And he does things that are kind of weird. He exists outside of human culture, so he does things that are like culturally weird, but not inherently like nonsensical. But you'll have to see if you agree with any of this like too human stuff. I mean, he is the doctor who kind of started the whole kissing every companion and every honestly like half the women who just walk by. Like that was he wasn't the first. Like 8 was the first one who did a kiss, but he, you know, it really starts here. I mean, also 9 kissed Rose, but a little different. You know,
just off the bad of that opinion, I don't see why. I don't know.
Well, you don't
that
have
would
too
make
many,
it too human-y.
You don't have too many other comparisons. And 11 and 12, Stephen Moffat also makes some, I'm gonna call them mistakes. In they make the Doctor very socially oblivious, despite the fact that he has literally lived among humans longer than any human who ever lived, and is like 1,000 years old to 2,000 years old, depending on where he was in the era. And he definitely knows it's not okay to go to someone's Christmas dinner naked. He knows these things, you know. But that's a later that's a later thing we could do. But especially when you compare them to the classic ones who I mean, for one, asexuality was a big part of the character. I think we've mentioned, well, a perceived part at least. Even to the people making the show and the actors. Tom Baker even has a quote that's kind of funny. You can see in an interview where he talks about how the character of the Doctor is rather limited because the character can't grow in the traditional sense. And one of the examples he gives is, well, he's like, the Doctor can't inherently, you know, turn to violence because he's just not that kind of person. You know, he has this strict code. But one of the examples is he can't suddenly get involved in romance because he just doesn't have those kind of emotions. And it's such a weird one going back to. But that's how, because he literally suddenly does just start getting into romance. But that just shows how ingrained the idea of his asexuality is, and that was part of the alien nature, which, you know, setting aside the issue of literally alienating people who are asexual. There are other elements, like, of course, Tom Baker, you haven't seen him, but he's very weird, just like as a person and as the Doctor. You know, look at the last Doctors. The last 3 Doctors in the classic, one wears a celery, one wears the coat I've probably show you, and the other's like a weird little umbrella man who like fights gods. You know, there's definitely an alien nature to the character.
Yeah.
And at least on the surface, I think there's perhaps some of that nature that's lost, but the way it's argued is so much like this Doctor like cares about people. And it's like, are you telling me the others didn't? Like, I think the main thing is actually a lot of people do think the Doctor doesn't really care about like the little deaths or the, so to say, little people. And this changes around here. I think they're just misunderstanding that the Doctor's always been like, yeah, some guy just died and we could mourn him, or we could go stop the big villain who's threatening to destroy the entire world. It's like, I'll mourn this guy after the world is safe. Like, we don't have time to care, which some people could say is inhuman and alien, like literally inhuman. I also agree. I always complain at the companions who like sit down and mope. I was like, you got it, John. You're on the clock. right? You can mourn later. And he does. Like, in a few regenerations' time, he literally has to spend a lifetime in therapy, just taking a break. Like, he'll mourn, but, you know, he's got a job to do. And, yeah, funny enough, I think I complain about the 12th Doctor going a little too far the other way. But we'll see. We got... I wanted... Why don't we just stay here until we finish all of... Because you know what the annoying part is? I can't just keep watching Doctor Who. I mean, I guess I can, but I like these being as blind as possible. You know, my memory being a little hazy. So I can't just keep watching. So, like, do I jump randomly in with, like, someone? Do I go down to, like, 12? I don't really like the start of 12. What do I do now, Caden?
You're in a pickle.
We can't even do this next week. I don't know what to do. I can't watch Doctor. I need to go watch it. I'm gonna make Alex watch it. Alex. I've decided we can start modern Doctor Who. No, you know what they'll do is they started making me watch Sailor Moon. I say making. I mean it's big to them. I'll watch.
I gotta watch that.
It's nothing at all like I expected because I tendentially am aware of it. But did you know Sailor Moon is just set in like contemporary Japan? I thought it was like some sort of magical fictional world or like space was involved because, you know, they're like space names. But it's literally just like a Japanese schoolgirl. And I was like, I was not expecting this like at all. I was like, man, I was like, I've been there. Like, you know, she's walking through a town. Like, I've been there, you know, like.
It's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's not at all what I expected. But we'll see. You know, it's. Let's see, it's now talked about Sailor Moon. We're an hour and a half into the stream. This is what people want. I want to watch more. I'm just going to buy some Big Finish and watch that. That's going to...
That'll tide you, maybe.
Yeah, that'll tide me. I was playing Factorio, but I guess I got to go buy the new Second Doctor Adventures. Yeah, I think I noticed, right? I had a theory. Here's something to point out. I don't think of the separate incarnations as different people a lot. They really are like the singular Doctor to me. But I think a lot of people, even in the fandom, will see it as like, you know, there's the current Doctors like Ncuti Gatwa, and then when their generation happens, everyone is in the past. I think because of Big Finish, I don't really get that. Like, for one, I already said 13 regenerated, and it was like, man, I can't wait for you to get Big Finish. Like, I know it's not the end, and we're getting more stories, often literally with those actors. But I am actively getting new stories for the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th until recently, and like 8th Doctors. 4 is expensive, and I'm waiting on a sale, but I really want more 4. And like even then, there's still more stories for all of them. Hell, I'm getting like new stories for like the spin-off Doctors and like weird stuff like that. I'm getting new stories with the companions, so it's like they never really leave, and they're all constantly, as I said, like the 2nd Doctor's in the middle of a new story. The 13th Doctor, we get new stuff. 14 we'll get eventually. I mean, David Tennant, you know, he's so big, he does everything, but like he could do any big Hollywood. It's the reason we don't have Matt Smith. Well, it's probably the biggest reason is that it just doesn't pay very well, and like he can get so many bigger things than audio. That'll also just help him get bigger. But David Tennant just loves Doctor Who so much. He always makes sure to make a little bit of time to do some Big Finish every now and then, just because he enjoys it. And I think he also enjoys giving the fans, like, more 10th Doctor. Yeah, that's... Basically, long story short, I need to get you into Big Finish. You know, we can talk about the War Master.
Big sell.
The War Master's so good, though, Caden. We're gonna meet him. We're coming up on the War Master soon. He's the best master, and he's got like 5 minutes. He's got like 30 seconds of screen time, actually, as the War Master. But that's how you know a true Doctor Who fan is, well, not to gatekeep, but, you know, like who really gets into it, is ask them who their favorite master is. And if it's literally anyone other than the War Master, it means they don't consume like any of the extended media stuff. They like watch the fan show, which is fine, you know. But if they say the War Master, you know that like they get into they're on like r/Gallifrey every day because if you know this story where it's got like the dark kind of it was a dark plot, you know. the War Master is, the Master. He's like the evil doctor, so to say.
Yeah.
He's you met him, doing the
Yeah.
Oddmon stuff. Imagine the Master is so evil that the other Masters are afraid of him. Like, the Master who fought the Time War, the Master who, saw this insane Lovecraftian destruction of the universe and had to figure out how to beat it and, like, go above it. Imagine a story about him and what he does, and the Doctor's not around to make things better. It has, like, truly kind of bone-chilling, amazing stories. And it's not just, like, the Master comes and everyone dies and now it's sad. It's not, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of them aren't traditionally happy endings. But the fact that it's also narrated by Sir Derek Jacobi, who's got an amazing voice, especially for the character. The next box set is, I literally think it's like the Master is at some university and he's just telling stories. Like, the Master is in a chair telling you stories. There's, like, no setup whatsoever. It's the most raw form of, like, audio drama possible, and God, am I excited for that one. Actually, know what I need to do? I need to finish Torchwood so I can watch more War Master, because the cover for the next War Master, which I own, has got a guy from Torchwood in it, and I think he's pretty big in the next season, so I don't want to spoil Torchwood.
Yeah, you gotta get watching.
But it's so, I need to send you some of those. Or, like, some of the best ones, because if you're into that sort of thing, I couldn't imagine a better story. Because the Doctor is, like, barely in it. He's in some of them. There's one with Warren 10. But if you want a recommendation, like an intro to Big Finish, they're newer, so they're a little more expensive. But the War Master, if you want a audio drama, but not focused on the Doctor, the War Master is the best thing Big Finish is producing now. And honestly, it's one of the best ranges they've ever produced. If not, like, the best, consistently best. There's, like, two stories I don't like. There's the one where the box set is the Master goes around and makes all the Doctor's former companions sad. I don't like that one, because I'm like, I don't want to listen to a story where he goes and ruins the lives of the four. And then there's, like, honestly, the one with David Tennant isn't the best, but the first part of the one with David Tennant is one of the best mystery stories I've heard. It's because he's such a fantastic, conniving mind, and he's one of those calm evil, like, he never really shouts. He's the calm. He's such a fascinating character. Go watch The War Master, please. I want to, how I did this basically so I had someone to talk with about Doctor Who. In modern, because I can't talk to Alex about modern Doctor Who because they still need to get caught up. I can only do Shooty Gadwa. Now I've moved on to Big Finish. I need someone to gush about War Master stuff with, and, like, it's the funny thing, because, like, who's the best Master and Doctor? You'll often get 8 in War, in the other order, where the Doctor who's story basically exclusively exists on audio because he's got one movie, and then the series was off the air for, like, 10 years. And so you got really creative writers who weren't constrained by, like, the BBC productions or, like, what they could have done or even what the stories could tell. So he's super free and so rich creativity in, like, their golden era. And then you've got similarly the Master that they could just go off the walls with. And so it's really easy to spot, like, if you consume the extended media, because it's like, oh yeah, I like 8, or I like the War Master. It's like, oh yeah, you really get into this. You've learned that the TV show of Doctor Who is the minority. That's not a joke. The Monthly Adventures, which is just 5, 6, 7, and a bit of 8, has more stories than televised Doctor Who.
Yeah, which is still remarkable.
And those are classic style stories, so they're like 4 parts. The third Doctor's range is like a 2.5 hour story every time. Also a great range. If you like the third Doctor, every one of his stories feels like they just came from an actual 70s story of Doctor Who, but also all of them are actually paced enough so that it deserves to be a 7-parter. That's another fantastic I really love that range too. it's not something special in that it's just more Third Doctor. But if you like the Third Doctor's era, which I really do, it's great because it is just more Third Doctor and like good Third Doctor stories. I don't think that range has a bad story. You've been desperately wanting to leave for like an hour, and I keep going off.
You won me on classic Doctor Who.
Oh, I
Big
have.
Finish.
You're
I
coming
mean,
on.
well, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not gonna sit down and watch every episode.
That's fair.
But it's
and I've said before, I don't really think that's for you, but I definitely think there's good chunks of Classic Who that you would like. Yeah, that's fair.
The Big Finish, that'll be your battle.
Okay.
For the next 2-3 years as we watch Doctor Who.
You got any long road trips coming up? You need some. You might need something to listen to.
I got music for all of that. I got so many albums I need to listen through.
Well, what if you want something with like a bit more narrative drive? You remember I showed you Holy Terror? I got you the intro of that one. You could do the story with the Sixth Doctor and the big talking penguin. Like, I could get you the one that penguin. It's just his story. Like, there's barely any Doctor in it, and he's a detective, like trying to take down some frog corporation who wants like a USB drive. Actually, let me find that story because I want to recommend it because it's dirt cheap. Actually, I think it's free. It's either free or dirt cheap, and it's genuinely an amazing comedy about Frobisher. It's almost a parody of like the Noir style. I want to tell you the punchline of it because I think it would sell you, but then it would ruin sort of media, Doctor Who, audio dramas, 6th. The Maltese Penguin. That's what it's called. It's a technically 6th Doctor story about Frobisher, the alien shapeshifter who looks like a penguin, and he's a like 1920s style detective, Noir detective. And this is a story about him being a failing, bad 20s, 40s, whatever it is, penguin detective trying to take down like a frogman, or maybe he's working for the frog. It's a fantastic. Actually, I'm gonna show you, Caden, the art for this story, and then we can hopefully properly wrap up. There we go. It's early Big Finish, so it's like a.
You'll have to go open the stream again.
So needy.
Well, yeah, I gotta see it.
Hang on, can I get this on the stream?
I like frog mob boss.
Oh, now you can just see the arm. He's a frog. Episode monitor. I need to get this on the stream. Hang on. Filters. Wait, why is it blurred? I don't even have a blur filter on this. It's not blurred. I don't know what to do. Filter. Okay, there's the blur. There we go. The Maltese penguin. It might actually be free. If it's not free, it's like dirt cheap. But if anything I said sounds interesting to you, that's great. That's a companion from the comics, Frobisher. The shape-shifting alien who looks like a penguin.
Such a crazy concept.
Look, classic Who. If you want crazy concepts, Caden, let's go watch some 80s Who. Let's watch the one with the like snake puppet I showed you, or let's go watch some of that. All right, I think I will end the stream. Try and get Caden scheduled to come over and watch some like Invasion of the Dinosaurs or something. I will then say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye bye.